Hey everybody, it's the Bald Wonder, and on today's article that we're going to be going through, we are going to see lots of verbs going into nouns. For example, here's another one. We are going to see lots of te form miraos using the ni particles. That'll be some good practice for you. And we are going to see a lot of te ikus, which is something that we don't think of. Actually, we're only going to see one of those. We're going to see just one of the te iku forms. And we will also see an intriguing time idea of te'iru for something that we can argue happened in the past. Hey there, everybody, this is Evan Rogers, and we are coming at you with the NHK News Easy News article. Is that what we're saying? Regarding the Ainu Upopois. This is the second video of that series, and in this one we are going to be talking about more verbs modifying nouns and how to identify chunks of a sentence. Okay, here we go. Kokoroka on the 9th, and then, sorry guys, it has to be about coronavirus. 新しいコロナウイルスの問題でオープンが遅れてるウポポイを街の人に見てもらいました。Okay, so great. Great. We have the te moraimasu in a sentence. This is basically the same as the headline of the article, so you could get this from the first video I made. But anyway, te moraimashita, mite moraimashita, have had, because it's past tense, had somebody see. Or maybe they made somebody see, or they wanted somebody to see. If you look at moraimasu, it means to receive. So the subject receives the seeing. Somebody else is seeing. The other person who is doing the seeing is the hito. So I just want to point this, just remember, the moraimasu is the idea of receiving. So the subject is benefiting with this moraimasing. They're the ones who are morowing, the moraimashita-ing. And the person that is doing the thing that is doing the verb is actually the hito. Okay, so mite moraimashita, had somebody see. And literally it's hito ni mite moraimashita. They had, it literally says a person see. But it's probably plural because Japanese is like, will be plural sometimes, but not always. This whole more than one person thing, I don't know. We could say tachi or add the ra suffix, but let's not do it this time. Anyway, they just don't like plurality. They're weird. Crazy, non-pluraling maniacs. All right, we got machi no hito. So the city folk, the city people. Ni mite moraimashita. They had the city folk watch something. They had them watch an upopoi. Upopoi o mite moraimashita. What is an upopoi? An upopoi is okureteiru. Okay, so they already told us what an upopoi was in the last sentence, so I guess they don't have to translate it again. It means everybody singing together. But they are describing this upopoi as being okureteru, which is it's delayed. It was put on hold. It's quote unquote late. It's delayed. It's delayed. That might be the best translation for okureteru. It has been delayed. The upopoi that has been delayed. Okay. Notice how this translation of okureteru has been delayed lines up very well with this one. Have been living at places in Hokkaido in the previous sentence. So notice the sentence. I'm going to end all my sentences like this. Excuse me. So it was very similar to this sentence where we had tsunderu being translated not as currently living, not as have lived, but this one is the continuous idea of have been living. Same thing here. We have been, has been delayed. Has been delayed. So whatever the subject is, there's no subject marker anywhere in here except for this verb. This verb has a subject. It's open. This section has a subject, but that's only for the okureteru. This verb does not have a subject. So the actual subject of the sentence, not of the clause, but of the sentence, there is no sentence subject here. So we kind of are left grasping at straws. We can piece it together through the rest of the information. But somebody had the townsfolk watch an upopoi, and this upopoi was okureteiru. It has been delayed. So the upopoi that had been delayed it should be has been delayed, not had been delayed. That would be okureteita. What has been delayed? The open ga okureteru. So the opening ceremonies of this Upopoi has been delayed. Has been delayed. The opening of the Upopoi has been delayed. Okay? So this is very interesting. Notice how Upopoi it's the opening. Oh my gosh, the highlighting on these articles. The opening of the Upopoi, and yet Upopoi comes after the thing. So Upopoi o machi de hitobito ni mite moraimashita. They had the city's folk watch an Upopoi, and this Upopoi is open ga okureteru. The opening of the Upopoi has been delayed. Why has it been delayed? Well, the te form, or maybe this is the means by which it has been delayed. 問題 by a problem, コロナウイルスの問題、新しいコロナウイルスの問題で open が遅れてる。So this is they had a bunch of people watch the Upopoi whose opening was delayed by the 新しいコロナウイルス, and the watching of it was on the 9th. So let's talk about this one more time. I should have brought this up earlier. I hinted at it, but notice how I said earlier that it's the people watched the Upopoi whose opening was delayed. So really, this Upopoi, we could put this in front of open with a no particle. So oh my gosh, the highlighting. Upopoi no open ga okureteru, right? If that were just its own sentence, Upopoi no open ga okureteru. The Upopoi's opening has been delayed. But because we want to use the Upopoi of that sentence as the thing that's being viewed by people, we want to take that descriptor of Upopoi no open, take that Upopoi and put it as the object of the sentence and modify it with what's left over. So really it's Upopoi no open ga okureteru Upopoi, but that sounds annoying. And they just don't do it. We don't do it either. The dog whose bone I found, right? We don't say the dog. I mean, if you think about that, I found the dog's bone. The dog ate a pizza. The dog whose bone I found ate a pizza, right? So if you see, the word the dog gets replaced by whose, and that's kind of what's happening here in this sense. Maybe I'm talking too much, and hopefully it's visible, but what I'm trying to say is that Upopoi no open, the Upopoi of Upopoi no open, got taken out of that clause and thrown at the end so it could become the direct object. Let's keep going. I'm probably talking too much. Upopoi ni aru hakubutsukan ni wa, Ainu no rekishi ya seikatsu ga wakaru you ni kougeihin ya shiryou ga narandemasu. Okay. Upopoi ni aru hakubutsukan ni wa. So that's pretty fun. We have two ni particles and they both have the same meaning in the same little chunk. Okay, Upopoi ni aru hakubutsukan. So this is the hakubutsukan that is in the Upopoi. Okay, and the Upopoi is here the giant facility, the building. So there's apparently a museum. A hakubutsukan is a museum. There must be some sort of a museum inside the Upopoi. So this is the Upopoi ni aru hakubutsukan. The hakubutsukan that is in the Upopoi ni wa, and in the museum that is in the Upopoi, Ainu no rekishi ya seikatsu, Ainu no rekishi, Ainu history ya seikatsu, and daily life. So the Ainu's history and the Ainu's daily life. Notice this no particle is modifying both rekishi and seikatsu. The ya particle basically means and when it's between nouns, except it also means it's an incomplete list. We're going to talk about more stuff. We're not just history, not just seikatsu, daily living, but other stuff as well. That's what the ya particle is doing. If it's a to particle, it's kind of a complete list. It is a complete list. It is only the history and it is only the daily life. In general, that's what it would mean. Okay, so in that museum, which is in the Upopoi, Ainu no rekishi ya seikatsu ga wakaru you ni. So this you ni is showing like for the purpose of, or in order to, or so as. I like the translation of so as for you ni because we see a lot of that as meaning in yos. As, so, something, something, something. So as to understand or get to know the Ainu history and rekishi. Okay, so in order to, or so as to get to know the Ainu history and daily life, and then so as to do that, something is narandemasing. So this yoni is functioning like an adverb, and so we need to find out what the verb it is, and it's narandemas. They are lined up. They are narabu is to line, to like put things in a line. Narabu is something is lined up. So this the transitive would be naraberu, which is I put things in a line. But if something is lined up, it's narabu. So this is something is lined up so as to further get to know, so that people can get to know Ainu history and daily life. So what is lined up? The subject marker ga, shirio, documents, and things like we just saw another Yap article, and things like kogehin, artifacts. So Indiana Jones thankfully got a whole bunch of stuff and put it in this Upopoi. So let's look at this thing. Narandemas. Something is lined up. Kogeihin ya shirio ga narandemas. Artifacts and documents are lined up or organized. Might be a better translation for narandemas. So as things can be understood. Remember, wakaru is a double ga predicate. So watashi ga nanika ga wakaru. The subject that's doing the wakaruing gets a ga or a wa, and also the thing that's being understood also gets a ga particle. You can't have a sentence that is watashi ga something ga wakaru. Watashi ga nihongo ga wakaru. And that would be I understand Japanese. It'd be like I understand Japanese. So it'd be the answer to the question of who understands Japanese? Watashi ga nihongo ga wakaru. You can't have that sentence. A bunch of native speakers are going to yell at me, but then like within the next week, they're going to accidentally say that sentence. So it's one of those sentences that doesn't sound right, but it does have its limited usage. Anyway. So this isn't who's doing the wakaruing. This is what is wakarued, if that makes sense. So just remember, we have double ga predicates in Japanese. Wakaru predicate is a fancy. I'm just going to use verb, but also not adjectives and things like that can be double gas as well. Anyway, I'm using a fancy language word predicate. I believe I have a video on that in the fancy language word series. Go check it out. These are quote unquote double ga predicates. So the verb wakaru can have two gas affecting it. I think I've made that pretty clear. And this is sort of quote unquote in English. This would be the object of the sentence, not the subject. So Ainu no rekishi ya seikatsu ga wakaru yoni. So as to understand Ainu history and daily living, these things have been arranged. And where have they been arranged? In the Hakubutsukan, which is in the Upopoi. Artifacts and documents have been, again, we can do the have been arranged so as to better understand Ainu history and daily life in the museum that's in the Upopoi. Boom, that's your sentence right there. Kino hune wa, as for the wooden ship, kino hune, ki is like wood, tree. It literally means tree, but when we're talking about like a hune, that means a wooden ship. Ki, tree, ki no, wooden. Ki no hune wa, as for the wooden ship, nagasa ga 6 meter ぐらいあって、アイヌの人たちが昔魚を取るときに使っていたようです。So, remember how we talked about yoni being translated as, and it's a very good translation of as. Here it's being translated as it would seem. And if you think about it would seem, I mean, that kind of has the idea of as. It appears as such. That idea of as, it would be used as this, something like that. It appears as that. So here it's being used like so that or so as to. And here it's being used more as the idea of it appears so. It appears as such, kind of an idea. Again, we can twist our translation of yo to have that as feeling. AS. Okay? All right. as for the wooden ship, it would appear as tsukateta. It had been used. It had been used. Notice this is te'ita. The boat is no longer used, and so its use has been completed. It is now a te'ita. So all these other ones, te'irus and de'imases and all those other things we're encountering, that's still happening today from a long time ago, continuing up until now. This te'ita is, no. Nobody's using this boat. In fact, there's an image of it in this video. So no one's using that boat. Sorry, no one's going to hop into that boat anytime soon. All right, so that's what they're talking about. So as for the wooden boat, it had been used. Toki ni, at a time. Sakana o toru toki ni. So notice toki means time or when. So when sakana o toru, when fishing. Sakana is what you toru, and toru is taking. So sakana o toru is fishing. They have another verb for fishing. I think it's tsuru. But they're choosing sakana o toru. So when fishing, we're just going to translate sakana o toru as when fishing. Sakana o toru toki ni tsukatte ta you desu. As for the wooden ship, it appears like it had been used when fishing. Mukashi, a long time ago. And who's doing the sakana o toruing? The Ainu no hitotachi ga mukashi sakana o toru. So it was used when the Ainu peoples were fishing a long time ago. Okay, so this is, in my opinion, an interesting usage of the word atte, of arimasu aru. I'm surprised it's not just like a de. I'm intrigued that they chose aru. Anyway, nagasa ga 6 meter gurai aru. Notice I didn't put in the te form. Let's just deal with that as being aru. Let's treat this as its own sentence. Ki no hune wa nagasa ga 6 meter gurai aru. Let's just go with aru instead of ate. Ate is clearly the te form of arimasu aru. Okay, so notice we would translate that as like it has. Aru can be translated as it has or something exists, something like that. So it has something. So the wooden ship has, and then the thing that it has, double ga predicate. Again, aru is a double ga predicate. We talked about it earlier. I should have made that in the introduction. We should have added that to interesting things we're going to talk about. Ate would be, aru is the double ga predicate. So the ship has a nagasa. And notice the nagasa gets a ga particle, but the actual subject gets a wa particle in this situation. So the wooden ship has a length. And that length is a 6 meter gurai. So it has an about 6 meter length to it. Okay. And in the same way that this would be a de, being that it has that, ate. So the wooden ship having a 6 meter length to it seems like it had been used when fishing, when the Ainu people were going fishing a long time ago. All right, that would be your second sentence. Ask any questions below. I hope that helps. Hey, peace out. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you like, subscribe, and share this video to everybody you know and yell at them repeatedly until they subscribe as well. If you'd like to support me even more, head on over to patreon.com, where for just $1 a month, 3 cents a day, that's it, it's darn near free, you can help me financially keep these videos coming. And as a reward for your Patreon donations, you get access to all of the miscellaneous things that I produce to help out my own students who I teach in person, and also just things that I make for myself. And if you want a little bit more bang for your buck, head on over to Teespring, where you can get lots of fun clothing, mugs, stickers, cell phone cases, all that I've designed. More designs to come. I hope you have yourself a happy dappy day. Peace out.